Most engines don't just wear out, they're slowly being killed by small things drivers ignore every day. The scary part? It's 100% preventable. Just 10 minutes once a month can save you from breakdowns, $5,000 repair bills, and the nightmare of shopping for a new car too soon. Do this one simple thing and your engine could easily outlive the car itself. And wait until you hear the final tip. It's the secret that can turn a 150,000-mile car into a 500,000-mile legend. Let's dive in. 15. Use the parking brake always. Here's a habit most drivers skip, but it's one of the easiest ways to make your car last longer. Always use the parking brake, even when you're parked on flat ground. See, every time you put your car in park, a small metal pin inside the transmission, called the parking pal, locks into place to hold the weight of your entire vehicle. On a hill, it carries thousands of pounds of stress. Even on flat ground, the strain builds over time. If that little piece of metal ever snaps, you're looking at a transmission repair that can cost anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000. So, if you want to keep your gearbox smooth, your car reliable, and avoid costly repairs, make this a habit. Use the parking brake every single time. Small detail, big payoff. But there is something else you need to do to make your throne run smoothly. This time, we are all guilty. Quick reminder, if you're enjoying this, hit that subscribe button now. 14. Use the correct fuel grade. Engines are designed with a specific fuel grade in mind. If the manufacturer says premium, it means the engine's compression, timing, and sensors are tuned for it. Cheap out with regular, and you're not saving a few bucks, you're actually causing knock, reduced performance, and long-term wear. Over time, that small saving at the pump can lead to repairs costing over $2,000. Think of it this way. Would you water down your coffee every morning just to save pennies? Same deal here. Give the engine the fuel it's designed for, and it'll reward you with smoother performance and years of reliable driving. But there is an overlooked part in your car, one party that is completely ignored and could save you thousands of dollars. Can you guess what it is? 13. Maintain the PCV valve. The PCV valve is one of the most overlooked parts under your hood. It regulates crankcase pressure and keeps nasty sludge from building up. When it clogs, pressure builds, seals blow, and suddenly you're looking at oil leaks, blue smoke, and sludge that chokes the life out of your engine. Replacing a PCV valve costs less than a dinner for two. Ignoring it could lead to engine damage that runs into the thousands. And for the next tip, it's literally the cheapest thing you can do for your motor, yet most drivers don't even know about it. 12. Drive long enough trips. Short trips are engine killers. Why? Because the oil never gets hot enough to burn off moisture and fuel vapors. Instead, sludge builds, acids form, and your engine slowly suffocates. Do this for years, and you'll wonder why your car feels sluggish and burns oil like crazy. The fix is almost laughably simple. Take your car on a proper drive at least once a week. 20 to 30 minutes on the highway keeps the oil clean, the battery charged, and the engine healthy. Think of it as a spa day for your car. A little stretch keeps it young. Ignore it, and you'll be trading engines instead of stories about how long yours lasted. And moving on to another tip most drivers ignore until it's too late. Don't drive around with the fuel light on. 11. Don't run on low fuel. Sure, it feels like you're squeezing out every last mile, but the truth is, running on near empty is a silent car killer. Inside every fuel tank, debris, dirt, and sediment settle at the bottom over years of driving. When you run low, the fuel pump has no choice but to suck up that junk. The result? Clogged filters, dirty injectors, and a pump that's straining harder than it should. Replacing a fuel pump can set you back $600 to $1,200, and that's if it doesn't take the injectors down with it. The smarter move is simple. Don't wait until the light comes on. Refill when you're around a quarter tank. It saves your pump, protects your injectors, and keeps your car running strong for years. So remember, your fuel tank isn't meant to be run dry, it's meant to be full enough to protect your engine. Treat it that way, and your car will thank you every mile. But if all these tips seem to be too much, then there is something you can do once a month, and forget about your engine till the next month. 10. The once-a-month ritual. Engines don't just wear out, they're destroyed by neglect. And the easiest way to prevent that is with a once-a-month ritual that takes less than 5 minutes. Ready? Here it is. Pop the hood and give your engine bay a visual inspection. That's it. But don't let the simplicity fool you. This habit has saved thousands of engines from an early grave. According to the American Automobile Association, over 80% of roadside breakdowns could have been prevented with basic monthly inspections like this one. 3 weeks ago, a college student called us panicking about his Honda Civic stalling. One quick look under the hood revealed a loose battery terminal, a 30-second fix that saved him from a $200 tow and diagnostic fee. Hold on for a second. When was the last time you opened your hood? Be honest in the comments. But the once-a-month ritual is just the foundation. To really extend engine life, you need to understand the FLUIDS rule, because ignoring it is the #1 silent killer of engines everywhere. 9. The fluids rule. Every engine depends on fluids to survive. Oil, coolant, transmission fluid, brake fluid, they're like blood, oxygen, and water to your car. Ignore them, and your engine slowly suffocates. Follow them, and your car can run 500,000 miles without complaint. Yesterday, a nurse from Denver brought in her 2019 Subaru Outback with engine knock. The culprit? She'd been 8,000 miles overdue on an oil change, thinking synthetic oil meant she could go longer. The damage cost her $4,200 in engine repairs. The most critical fluid is engine oil. Change it on schedule, and your engine stays clean and lubricated. Delay it, and sludge builds up, starving your engine of life. That's why the once-a-month ritual ties directly into this. Every time you pop the hood, pull the dipstick. Look at the oil color and level. If it's dark, gritty, or low, don't wait. Fix it before it ruins your engine. Also, studies show that 65% of engine overheating incidents are caused by low coolant levels that could have been caught with simple monthly checks. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Many drivers think AIR doesn't play a big role in engine longevity, but neglecting filters and airflow can wear out an engine faster than bad oil. 8. Examine air filter. Most drivers don't realize it, but your air filter is like the lungs of your engine. Every single mile you drive, your car pulls in thousands of gallons of air, and before that air reaches the cylinders, it passes through the filter. Over time, dust, dirt, leaves, and road grime get trapped inside. A clean filter allows smooth airflow, but a clogged one forces your engine to work harder just to breathe. That means reduced power, lower gas mileage, and increased wear on key engine parts. A friend of mine drove her 2017 Ford Explorer for 3 years without changing the air filter. When we finally pulled it out, it was so clogged you couldn't see through it. A dirty filter doesn't just hurt performance, it can actually shorten your engine's life. When airflow is restricted, your fuel-to-air ratio gets thrown off balance, leading to incomplete combustion. That causes carbon buildup, fouled spark plugs, and in the long run, even damage to your catalytic converter. All that just from neglecting a part that costs less than dinner at a cheap restaurant. In fact, this $20 filter can cost over $2,000 in repairs. The EPA estimates that a dirty air filter can reduce acceleration by 6% to 11% in modern fuel-injected cars. Before moving on, here's your challenge. Go check your air filter right after this video and tell us in the comments what you found. So don't underestimate this simple habit. A clean filter is cheap, quick to swap, and can add years to your engine's lifespan. And trust me, you don't want to skip it, because the next part we'll cover is even more dangerous when neglected: your belts and hoses. 7. Look over belts and hoses. Belts and hoses are the unsung heroes of your engine. You rarely see them working, but they're constantly under stress every single time you drive. The serpentine belt, for example, keeps your alternator, power steering, and water pump running. One small crack, and your car could leave you stranded in the middle of nowhere. Same goes for hoses. They carry coolant and fluids under pressure, and when they burst, the result is often overheating or complete engine shutdown. 2 months ago, a delivery driver with a 2016 Chevy Silverado ignored a small crack in his serpentine belt. It snapped during rush hour traffic, leaving him without power steering, alternator, or water pump. What could have been a $45 belt replacement turned into a $1,200 towing and repair bill. Most people don't think about these parts until they fail, but by then, the damage is already done. A snapped serpentine belt means instant loss of vital systems. A burst radiator hose can overheat your engine in less than a minute, warping the cylinder head or blowing a head gasket. Repairs like that easily run into the thousands, while replacing a belt or hose costs pocket change in comparison. One overlooked danger is heat. Underhood temperatures can exceed 200 degrees, and that constant exposure slowly cooks rubber components. That's why belts and hoses rarely fail when your car is parked. They snap while driving, under maximum stress. By catching these problems early, you save yourself from the nightmare of being stranded on the roadside or facing an overheated engine. Just a 2-minute inspection once a month can prevent catastrophic breakdowns. Have you ever had a belt or hose fail on you? Share your story in the comments. It might help another viewer avoid the same mistake. 6. Check battery terminals. Your battery might not seem like a big deal until the morning you turn the key and hear nothing but silence. Here's the truth: a weak connection at the terminals can make your entire electrical system suffer. Corroded or loose terminals force your alternator and starter motor to work overtime, draining power, stressing your engine, and leaving you with unpredictable performance. Last winter, a real estate agent called us about her 2020 Honda Accord that wouldn't start reliably in cold weather. The battery tested fine, but the terminals were so corroded the connection was barely making contact. A simple cleaning fixed what could have been expensive electrical diagnostics. The National Institute for Automotive Service Excellence reports that 73% of battery-related failures are actually connection problems, not dead batteries. Checking once a month is easy. Pop your hood, look at the battery posts, and if you see buildup, clean it. Use a wire brush or even a simple baking soda and water mix. Make sure the connections are snug and the clamps don't wiggle. So remember, a clean connection means a healthy flow of power, which means less strain on your engine and fewer electrical headaches. And while power delivery is vital, there's another habit that connects your car's health in a way most drivers never consider. And it starts where the rubber meets the road. 5. Inspect tire pressure. When people think about engine life, tires aren't usually the first thing that comes to mind. But here's the hidden truth. Low or uneven tire pressure forces your engine to work harder every mile you drive. Imagine pedaling a bicycle with soft tires. You burn more energy, cover less ground, and wear yourself out faster. The same thing happens to your car. A mechanic friend of mine tracks fuel economy religiously in his personal 2018 Toyota Prius. When his tire pressure dropped from 35 psi to 28 psi, his gas mileage fell by almost 4 mpg. That's over $300 in extra fuel costs per year. Underinflated tires don't just hurt your engine, they also overheat. Excess heat weakens tire walls, raising the risk of a blowout at highway speeds. That's not just an expensive repair, it's a serious safety hazard. So guys, here's your homework. Check your tire pressure this week and comment below with what you found. Were they properly inflated? Don't treat tire pressure as an afterthought. It's one of the easiest habits that saves fuel, saves your engine, and keeps you safe on the road. And speaking of small details that can make or break your engine, the next tip dives into one of the most overlooked warning signs, the sounds your car makes when it's trying to talk to you. 4. Listen for unusual noises. Your car has a language of its own, and if you pay attention, it will often warn you before disaster strikes. One of the smartest habits you can form is to simply listen. Strange noises are your engine's cry for help, and ignoring them is like turning off the fire alarm while smoke fills the house. 6 months ago, a taxi driver brought in his 2015 Ford Fusion complaining about a slight ticking noise. We found worn valve lifters that would have seized the engine within weeks if left untreated. That $400 repair saved him from a $6,000 engine replacement. Take knocking sounds, for example. That sharp metallic rattle when you accelerate usually means your fuel isn't burning properly. It could be due to bad gas, carbon buildup, or even timing issues. Left unchecked, knocking causes severe stress on pistons and bearings, leading to catastrophic engine damage. Here's a pro move. Once a month, turn off the radio, roll down your windows, and drive in silence. Listen carefully as you accelerate, brake, and idle. Compare how your car sounds today versus last month. Changes, even small ones, should not be ignored. A mechanic's stethoscope is cheap, but your ears are free. Catching a noise early can save thousands in repairs. Think of it as regular checkups for your car's heartbeat. So next time you hear an odd sound, don't just crank up the music, investigate. Because if noises are your engine whispering, leaks are your car's way of bleeding. And that brings us to the next must-do habit. 3. Look under the car. One of the easiest yet most overlooked habits is simply looking under your car once a month. Fluids are the lifeblood of your engine, and leaks are an early warning sign most drivers miss until it's too late. Oil spots on your driveway? That could mean a bad gasket, cracked seal, or even a worn oil pan. Ignore it, and your engine could run low on oil, leading to overheating and complete seizure. That's not just expensive, it's game over for most engines. Coolant puddles? Usually green, orange, or pink in color. This points to radiator, hose, or water pump trouble. Without enough coolant, your engine can overheat in minutes, warping metal parts and blowing head gaskets. Consumer Reports found that over 60% of major engine repairs could have been prevented by catching fluid leaks during their early stages. Transmission fluid leaks are another silent killer. Red or brown spots under the car mean your transmission is bleeding, and without attention, it will fail. A $10,000 repair that can cost more than the car itself. Here's the best part. Spotting leaks is free and takes seconds. Park in a clean spot or use cardboard under the car overnight. In the morning, check for drips. Even a faint smell of fuel, coolant, or burning oil should raise a red flag. And while leaks are critical, there's another fluid-related habit that's just as important: checking the lifeblood of your transmission before it silently ruins your engine. 2. Check transmission fluid, if accessible. When it comes to keeping your engine healthy, most people think only about oil. But here's the hidden truth. Your transmission fluid plays just as big a role. Without it, your gears grind, your shifts turn rough, and your engine works overtime just to keep you moving. In fact, neglecting transmission fluid is one of the most expensive mistakes drivers make. Last year, a friend of mine paid $600 for a timing belt replacement on his 2016 Honda Pilot, only to find out later that his transmission problems were actually caused by old, burnt fluid that cost just $150 to change. Transmission fluid does more than just lubricate. It cools the system, keeps seals flexible, and ensures every shift is smooth. When the fluid level drops or the liquid gets dirty, your transmission starts slipping. That creates heat, and heat is the #1 killer of transmissions. Once the damage is done, you're looking at a rebuild or replacement that can cost thousands, sometimes more than the car is even worth. The good news? A once-a-month check can prevent all that. If your car has a dipstick for transmission fluid, check it the same way you would oil. With the engine warmed up and running, pull the dipstick, wipe it clean, dip again, and check both the level and the color. Healthy fluid is bright red or pink. If it's dark brown or smells burnt, it's screaming for attention. Keeping your transmission fluid healthy means smoother shifts, less stress on your engine, and thousands saved down the road. And once you've checked your fluids, there's our #1 test you can do right in your driveway to catch issues before they snowball, and it only takes a few minutes. 1. Quick idle and rev test. Ensures smooth performance and reveals hidden issues. Engines are like people. You can tell a lot just by listening to how they breathe and move. That's why a monthly idle and rev test is one of the smartest habits you can adopt. Think of it as giving your car a quick physical exam right at home. Here's how it works. With your car in park and the parking brake engaged, start the engine and let it idle for a minute. Listen closely. A healthy engine should hum smoothly without sputters or dips. If it shakes, stalls, or idles unevenly, that could mean dirty fuel injectors, vacuum leaks, or ignition issues waiting to get worse. Automotive technicians report that 85% of drivability issues can be detected during a simple idle and rev test when performed by someone who knows what to listen for. Many drivers never notice small problems until they become big ones. This test reveals trouble early. Odd smells, smoke, or delayed throttle response are all clues you should investigate. Think of it as your engine's way of whispering, "Fix me before it's too late." Do this in a quiet spot with your hood open if possible. You'll pick up sounds, smells, and vibrations you'd normally miss on the road. And always remember, never rev a cold engine. Let it warm up first so oil can circulate. This habit costs nothing, takes under 5 minutes, and could save you thousands. A smooth, idle, and steady rev means your engine is healthy and strong. But if something feels off, don't ignore it. Early fixes are always cheaper. And here's the exciting part. Now that we've covered 9 essential monthly habits, it's time to wrap everything up with a bonus tip that even seasoned car owners often forget, but can literally keep your engine young for years to come. Bonus tip: warm up. Smart, not long. This is one of the biggest myths in car care, and it's a habit that even seasoned drivers still get wrong. You've probably seen someone start their car on a cold morning and let it idle for 10, maybe even 15 minutes, thinking they're taking care of the engine. But here's the harsh truth. That old advice comes from the carburetor era, and it simply doesn't apply to modern fuel-injected engines. In fact, letting your car sit idling for long periods does more harm than good. A neighbor of mine used to start his 2019 Chevy Malibu every winter morning and let it idle for 15 minutes. When I showed him the EPA data on fuel waste and engine wear from extended idling, he was shocked. He was literally throwing away over $400 per year in wasted gas. So what's the SMART way to warm up your car? Simple. Start the engine, let it run for about 30 seconds so the oil can circulate, and then drive gently. Don't floor it, don't rev high, just ease onto the road and keep the RPMs low until the temperature gauge reaches normal. That's how your engine was designed to warm up, under light load, not by sitting still. The Department of Energy estimates that excessive idling wastes over 3 billion gallons of fuel annually in the US alone. That's money straight out of drivers' pockets. Now, of course, there are exceptions. In extreme cold, we're talking below freezing, it's okay to let your car run for a minute or two to clear frost and make sure oil has fully circulated. But even then, you don't need more than a couple of minutes. Gentle driving is still the best way to get everything to operating temperature safely. Thanks for watching. Got your own car maintenance wins or horror stories? Drop them in the comments. Want more money-saving car care secrets? Click the video on the left. And for simple tricks to keep your ride running forever, hit that subscribe button now.